I'm Mark Seifter.
And I'm Linda Zies Palmer.
And this is Arcane Mark. Hello everyone and welcome to Build an Item Workshop for the Build an Item Workshop Rising. Today we are going to build our fourth item for Arcane Mark.
And as always for these workshop episodes, we go into them not having any idea what's going to come out of chat. So.
Who knows what chat will decide to build. So, as always, when you're building something, you want to start with a concept for it. So, let's come up with a possible concept for this item that we are building at the Build an Item Workshop.
Please post your concept ideas into the chat, and then we will do a vote.
Alright, Linda, we've got animated silver spoon.
Animated silver spoon.
Walking stick.
Walking stick.
Just it could be a held item or a worn item or really any kind of thing. It could be a rune. Any kind of item that people want to make. We're just gonna put in some concepts and then have a vote. Wither King says something similar to the Starstone.
Something similar to the Starstone. Well, that escalated quickly.
Tattoo sleeve.
Tattoo sleeve?
Toothpick of truth.
Truthpick?
Yeah, truthpick.
Toothpick of truth.
An item that is, looks like Nicole has an apex item for charisma that leaves you unable to lie.
Apex item for charisma that leaves you unable to lie.
Rune scribe.
Rune scribe.
Reverse starstone that turns gods into mortals.
Reverse star stone that turns gods into mortals.
Spyglass of spying.
Spyglass of spying.
Let's see. Hollow lead-lined boot heels.
Hollow lead-lined boot heels.
Cursed item misbehaving scarf.
Cursed item misbehaving scarf.
A special staff that is special in the way that the special wands are special.
In a special staff that is special in the way that the special wands are special.
A pouch of medicinal herbs.
It's a lot. Special doesn't feel like a word anymore. Pouch of medicinal herbs.
An item that helps you live in other planes.
Item that helps you live on other planes.
A relic.
Relic.
Fey primal teleport from natural circles.
Fey primal teleport from natural circles.
Underpants of dignity.
Underpants of dignity.
Alright. Alright. So that is...
Jim, I'm guessing that you didn't say special that many times. I looked up and... Wait, what did Jim actually say?
A special staff, parentheses, sort of like the staff version of a wad of manifold missiles or smoldering fireballs. But that requires you to know what those two items are. So special in the same way that special wands are special is special. Alright, so let's cut it there at 17 options with the underpants of dignity, since we have a lot already.
Alrighty.
And put those into the, and that's a lot of options. Did we fit all of them?
You're going to get 15 options first.
And then the other two.
And then you're going to get
so you get two votes.
No, no, you don't. Wait.
You get 2 votes, but there's 2 more that are here. You can vote for your top 2 choices, and then We'll narrow it down from there, and then vote for your top one out of the however many options.
And because of the way that this usually goes, we'll probably wind up with an item that's some unholy amalgamation of multiple ideas.
Potentially.
I mean, that often happens, right?
It's happened a lot of times. All right, ready, Linda?
All right, I'm ready for the votes.
1 and 7.
1 and 7.
Yes. 7 and 14.
7 and 14.
Yep. 2 and 12.
2 and 12.
8 and 15.
8 and 15.
12 and 17.
12 and 17.
4 and 7.
4 and 7.
4 and 12.
4 and 12.
All right. What are the standouts at the moment?
Well, we have 2 votes for a tattoo sleeve, 3 votes for Rune Scribe, and 3 votes for a special staff that is special in the way that special wands are special. Some editorializing from Mark.
Oh, 411 from Nicole. Kitsune Warlock
411?
just missed the poll and came in while the voting was happening. I think I should be able to copy paste it again for you, Dustin. Let's see. These are the first 15, and then there are 2 other ones at the end, which are... these are the last 2. 11 and 17 from
11
from Brian.
and 17.
Yep. 10 and 16.
10 and 16.
From Risky. All right.
We've got 3 votes for 4, 7, and 12, and we have 2 votes for 11 and 17, and 1 vote for a lot of others.
Okay, well, in that case...
another one just came through.
5 and 11.
5 and 11?
And those were from Dustin, who hadn't seen the original set. So, let's call it here, because anyone who saw the first set has probably voted by now. Let's keep all the ones that have at least 2 votes, and then...
so that's going to be 4...
I will
7,
put that in there. 4, 7...
11...
11...
12,
12.
and 17.
Alright, so vote for one of these 5 options.
So that's
Starting
going
now.
to be the tattoo sleeve, the Rune Scribe, the cursed misbehaving scarf, the special staff that is special in the way that special wands are special, and the underpants of dignity.
Alright, so ready to get these, Linda? 11.
11.
7.
7.
4.
4.
7.
7.
4.
4.
A 7 changes to a 4.
A 7 is actually a 4.
But then a new 7 comes in.
But then a new 7 comes. A new challenger approaches.
12, 11, 4.
12, 11, 4.
And then another 4.
And then another 4.
And then another 4.
And then another 4.
Alright. I'm pretty sure
It looks like we're making a tattoo sleeve.
that we are making a tattoo sleeve.
Cool.
Okay. So, Hidden Twig votes for both 7 and 12, but we're only doing 1, and I think the tattoo sleeve just has it. It's got like 7 votes now. So, we are making a tattoo sleeve. So that would be a...
So you're talking about like a... So you're talking about a sleeve tattoo sort of as a...
From shoulder to wrist.
Yeah.
That is a magic tattoo item.
Yes. I assume that's what people are talking about as a sleeve tattoo. Tattoo sleeve. As opposed to like a sleeve that...
A sleeve that puts magical tattoos on you.
Yes. I mean, we can be overly literal in however we want, but sweet.
I'm
there's
assuming that that's
certainly-
what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly in Galeria, not that it has to be in Galeria, but there's certainly a lot of precedent for magical tattoos with in Varissia and with ties back to the times of ancient Thassalon as well.
Yep. I suppose that the tattoo sleeve is more of like if we given now that I think about it, like that is giving us the visual of it, but that would sort of be like if it's like the magic item was a bowl. We don't
Yeah.
know exactly what it's going to do as a tattoo sleeve, but we know we're making a tattoo sleeve. So again, it looks like no one has contradicted us on this. So that is a tattoo that goes like from your shoulder down to through across your arm, and it's a very intricate
Yeah.
long
I mean, that's
tattoo.
what it normally is.
Yes.
I'm surprised that no one's made some snarky comment and like, no, I actually meant whatever.
I actually meant it was a sleeve that puts tattoos on you.
That or a sleeve that looks like a tattoo when you put it on.
That turns into that when you put it on, yeah. So
Maybe the tattoo sleeve is an alien symbiote. Nylon. All right.
All right. So let's think about, based on the visual and the thematics of a tattoo sleeve, what kind of effect would it have? Now, Jess was saying it could be a tattoo of disguise, where the tattoo sleeve sort of changes you to help you disguise. Hidden Twig says that it could take a variable amount of your arm, and the more of your arm that it takes up, the more power it gives you.
And there's a comment that arms are related to strength.
That's definitely true.
So having this have something to do with feats of athleticism.
I
and
could see
enhancing
that.
the capacity of that arm that it's specifically tied to.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So it could be Tyratar says that there might be like a creature that's along the tattoo and it sort of summons it out of the tattoo. GM Reckless says could be like a robe of useful items where the sort of the picture on the tattoo has a bunch of little items on it. You can pull them all off.
Oh yeah. So like I see, there's a lot of ideas of like the tattoo coming off, whether it's an item or a creature or something like that. A +1 status bonus to arm wrestling.
So let's see. Let's go together with Jess says it could be a tattoo that's attuned to a plane and has sort of art and pictures of that plane.
Yeah, so like if you had like this badass fire tattoo that would like help you survive on the plane of fire.
And we also have some suggestions for the visuals of the tattoo detaching, like tendrils of force or enhancing the speed of tattoo making. All right, so let's go with some of. Oh, and interesting. Hiro Win says it could power up and interact with the arcane tattoo ancestry feat because gear that interferes with feats is interesting. Tattoo grappling hook. Let's say that this tattoo is on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
It provides maybe a base bonus to athletics, but it also, so it just like has an item bonus. So we can make there be 3 versions.
Yeah.
That are lesser, moderate, and greater, with +1, +2, and +3.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that just because of the fact that fire is very easy, and I can imagine like tendrils of flame on your tattoo, that it is associated with the plane of fire. So in that case, what we can do here is also, it's really easy to consider how you would survive on the plane of fire because you would have fire resistance. So, Ring of Energy resistance is... Let's take a look at that. I kept not spelling the word energy right. So, a Ring of Energy resistance is going to be a 6, 10, 14.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know the +3 athletics is above 14. The other 2 are below 6 and 10. So, we can give some fire resistance. We can give 5, 10, 15 fire resistance in the lesser, moderate, and
Yes.
greater versions. But then we also want them to summon fire elementals.
Yeah, because
the fire the flames
then it
come
comes
off of
forth
your
onto
arm
that, yeah.
into a fire elemental. And so in that case, let's go with a...
So if you're on the plane of fire or you're dealing with fire resistant to fire, but like just in general, you can call forth flames.
So you're resistant to fire because of this tattoo. It gives you an athletics bonus because it's about the strength.
Is
of
it gonna
the flames
like
in your
help
arm.
you enhance your fists with flames too?
It could potentially do that, but the question is at what point have we thrown too many things onto it?
Yeah, that's true, because then we have to worry about that from the cost.
And it's also not a hand wrap, so
yeah.
Let's stop with those 3 effects because I think that we've gotten a pretty good set there. So let's say that so there's the trick, which is we would probably want to make the first one, or not. Let's say that the first one is an 8th level item, the lesser version, and that would summon a summon elemental 3, a 3rd heightened elemental. So let's figure out which fire elemental that would be. That would be so number 3 summons a creature 2, so that's an Ember Fox. So lesser tattoo is actually an Ember Fox tattoo. You have this giant Ember Fox sleeve tattoo, and it summons an Ember Fox.
That's pretty cool.
I'm sure Kitsune Warlord doesn't mind that. So
plus 1 item bonus to athletics and 5 fire resistance.
That's right.
And then you said they were 8th level, and then the next one would need to be higher than...
So the next one after that would probably be could be a 12? Let's see. No, let's make it 14 because it has the level 10 Ring of Energy Resistance greater and a level 9 athletics item in it. And it's going to summon a creature, so
yeah.
And then that would summon a salamander, so it's a salamander one, because it would be a summon elemental 6, which summons up to a 7th level creature. And then the last one is going to be a since it is a plus. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Yes, since it is a +3 skill item, it's at least level 17. At that point,
it's going to be summoning something pretty ridiculous.
Oh, yes, it will. So at that point, it is summon elemental 8, which summons a level 11 fire elemental, which is an elemental inferno. There
you go.
That sounds like something that we should get tattooed on your arm, because it's a huge fire elemental with blue flames and surges of blue flames, so it's got different colors in it, and the Inferno Leap ability. So there you have it. It summons an elemental inferno in the greater version.
Summon elemental lord. Oh, they're talking about the size. This sleeve for that particular sleeve would definitely continue down into the back, Rexa. Summoning an elemental lord would be a little overpowered, but yeah, I mean, people talking about having I mean, one of the things about this is it'd be pretty easy to you summon Mary, you lose. I'm sorry. Yeah, you make it. Come forth, Ranganori. Yes, but. It would be easy to make versions.
I choose you.
It would be easy to make versions of this for the other elemental types just by summoning out control effing fire for water or air or things like that.
I mean, you have to find the names of the correct leveled ones, but
yes, but this general idea of these elemental tattoos that strengthen you, provide resistance to an element, and let you summon forth an elemental.
Mm-hmm.
If you summon an elemental lord, you lose your arm. Yes, I think that would be quite fair.
So there we have it.
Mm-hmm.
We have figured it out. We have figured out what this tattoo is going to do, and this is the flame version, but yeah, you can just we just made 3 items, but we really kind of made 12 items, other than the fact that the energy resistance is a little bit sketchier for anything except fire. I picked fire both because it's a cool tattoo, and also it's really easy to just get fire resistance, whereas, like, in PF1, there was a lot of, like, oh, acid for the planet of Earth or something, but acid is not going to help you at all on the planet of Earth, and it doesn't, it doesn't really fit. So,
well, the Earth one then might be something that like lets you do like a little bit of an Earth glidey type thing, so that you're not completely stuck. If you appear in the middle of rock or whatever, and you can move around more freely. The air one might be the air one could be electricity damage, because that is a threat, but it could also be something that makes it easier for you to fly about.
Yep, and Jess is right that they do not do acid damage, they do bludgeoning damage. That's even true in Pathfinder 1st Edition. It's just that acid was associated for no particular real reason, and we stopped doing that. I think it was a sort of a 3.5-ism that Pathfinder 1st picked up. Tired Taurus, energy resistance does not combine, it's not cumulative. Unless it says it is, which it's probably rarely going to do.
And there's talking about like a wood element to summon plants with a sleeve of thorns.
Yeah,
I could see a variant of that. Maybe that one instead of giving like an elemental resistance would help you against like bleed effects.
I could see that, giving you a little bit of resistance against persistent bleed. Maybe a lower amount, because persistent bleed is usually a lower amount, but maybe not. Or like the possibility of giving you like a once per day of that focus spell that puts thorns on your body.
Oh, that's a good point, Tendinomancer. It could be poison resistance.
Yeah. Wooden plant is associated with poison. Like the phytokineticist had a bunch of poisonous sort of abilities that it could use as well. Absolutely. Ular, we have made a a series of lesser, moderate, and greater fire sleeve tattoos that give you an athletics bonus, in addition to a fire resistance, and summon a fire elemental out of the tattoo.
Yeah, so we have the 8th level version that summons an Ember Fox, and gives a +1 item bonus to athletics and 5 fire resistance. The 14th level version that summons a Salamander with a +2 item bonus and 10 fire resistance. And the 18th level version that summons an Elemental Inferno with a +3 item bonus and 15 fire resistance.
That's right.
And we've already decided that the Elemental Inferno one like goes down your back too.
That's right.
Because it does.
We could call them lesser, moderate, and greater like fire sleeve tattoos, but we could also just call them
the Ember Fox tattoo,
the Salamander tattoo, and the Elemental Inferno tattoo.
Yeah, and we've been talking about how like the ones that, because they're affiliated with different planes and elements, how they might be different. So, like, how one that was, how like, the Earth one isn't probably going to necessarily just be, like, acid, because that's not really, that association between Earth and acid is not necessarily what's going to help you survive there, and,
Let's see. And Jazz is saying, if you get to the outer sphere, it gets really difficult to sub out. Yeah, like, for the negative energy plane, you could probably summon, like, a Skadoo-doo-doo-doo person.
Skandalidar,
and then get negative energy resistance. But once you get to the outer sphere, like, you could give resistance to... If you gave resistance to, like, that aligned damage, it's weird, because that would be, like, an evil person should get an angel tattoo to resist good damage.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, why would you do that and then summon angels?
So it probably wouldn't necessarily be, like, resistance to the damage, but it may be something, it may be, like, I could see, like, for like, the devil, for hell, like, you have a devil tattoo that might make it a little easier to resist the compulsions and things from devils. Yep. Because you're more used to...
And yeah, negative and positive energy are in the inner sphere. That's another example of staying outside the elemental planes, but in the inner sphere and being fine.
Yeah.
Also, for astral, you could possibly do mental damage. And in PaizoCon, it was announced that those weird astral things, some of them are forming a family with your good friends, those ones from Kermaga. What are they again? Callborn. Called the Enocytes. That was announced at PaizoCon, so it could summon those and give you mental resistance, because astral essence is mental essence. Maybe the ethereal plane could give you force resistance because of ethereal essence, and summon like ethereal creatures. But yeah, it gets weird when you get to the outer sphere because the align damage doesn't make sense for
Or,
someone who wear
here's
that
an idea,
tattoo.
like a fallen angel tattoo that gives you resistance to good damage. Instead of summoning angels, it helps you smite good.
Aha. Summoning angles. Then you could create Hounds of Tyndalos from there.
Yes, outer spheres are a weird place.
That's true. Also, if you the Boneyard is actually a little easier because Psychopomps are usually like the in PF2 their attack is like we do negative damage to living creatures and positive damage to undead. So it could be some kind of thing that from the Boneyard that protects you from undead effects, and then summon Psychopomps. But when you get to any of the other ones, it's tricky. So this is a very extensible sleeve tattoo that could be like its own. You could make your own, like really like a third-party product that's just like sleeves of the planes.
Yes.
That has sleeve tattoos for every plane with that all give athletics bonuses or possibly acrobatics for some of the planes. Like I can see the plane of air giving you acrobatics, even though it's
definitely.
on your arm. But whatever.
Well, they don't all have to be on your arm. Like just because the fire one's on your arm, you could have like this could be or
oh
like,
yeah, that's true. It could be a leg tattoo.
Yeah.
And that way you could have them from different planes. It's like I have the acrobatics leg tattoo and the arm tattoo for athletics.
So like you have water, and you got them like all over the place. I mean, really though, I mean, really though, you like because there's not really slots anymore in second edition, so you could have like all sorts of these tattoos. You can be like, my deal is that I have all these attuned tattoos.
Yeah, basically when you ink this tattoo on, you're going to be permanently using one of your investiture slots on it.
Yes.
So you could just ink on 10 tattoos and use all of your investiture slots on it and have tattoos of the planes. You could have a character who's like the nameless one from Planescape Torment who's just covered in tattoos that each are associated with a different plane that grow with you as you level. And then you just don't get any other items.
Yeah, it's just like this guy wanders in and he's like completely covered in tattoos and he's just wearing a loincloth or whatever. And people are like, what is this guy's deal? And then it's like he doesn't necessarily say anything, but then the big battle starts and it's like he's immune to he's resistant to all these effects and like he summons all these wild elementals that appear and start attacking everything.
It's like everyone is judging you. What do you do? Updated my journal.
And now we need to build an NPC to figure out who made all these tattoos. Yeah.
Yep.
The Grim Reaper tattoo would definitely be sweet. Thanks for the cheer, GM Reckless.
Mm-hmm. Thanks so much. All right. So I think we did it. We have built an item workshop for the Build an Item Workshop Rising.
We built a lot of items, actually.
Yes, we built 3 items and then so many that it looks like, possibly jokingly or possibly not, that Jess is proposing to Amber Stewart to make a Planner Inc. Third-party product that's about Planner. I don't know. There's a lot of underscores in that may make it more realistic. So, shall we say goodbye to YouTube and then figure out how the poll is going?
Yeah, well, I guess there's a question here from Tyra Taurus. When the creature is summoned, does that remove the resistances you gain from the
That's
tattoo?
a good question. Like, thematically, it would make sense to do that. But you would kind of want to keep the athletics bonus so that it's not like, oh, I lose my athletics bonus.
Yeah.
Particularly if it was for a skill that wasn't athletics too, where it's like, I summoned it, but now I'm bad at identifying creatures or something like that.
You lose your whole arm. I think that's a little intense.
Yes, that's right. Your arm is gone.
So the resistance may deactivate while the creature is summoned.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume the summon is once per day?
The summon is once per day, because I put it at the level where it was once per day.
Yep.
Really sucks if you get a chest tattoo. Ah! You only lose your arm when you summon an elemental
lord. Alright, well, don't summon all
in this arm, there's an elemental lord.
So like, you've taken one of those, those legendary gems like the untouchable opal that were used to imprison the good elemental lords, and you've grafted them Thessalonian Ironstone grafting style into your arm, and then you're cool. But like, if you liberated a good aligned deity, like they could definitely regrow your arm.
That's true. Yes, Atreya was hidden inside of someone's arm because people are like 70% water, and so it'd be kept away from the flames.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Maybe Atreya is just an arm tattoo for an ooze that's just made up entirely of liquid.
Now I'm imagining this is like
It's a pseudopod.
This ridiculous ooze that's like the CR25 ooze that's going around, and it's just being an ooze and like it's being nondescript, and then like if anything tries to attack it or bother it, it just wins because it's like the CR25 ooze that has the power of a god.
In my tentacle, or in my pseudopod tentacle.
In my pseudopod tentacle.
Alright. So, bye YouTube. See you next time.